Before humans, before dinosaurs, Earth has already faced extinction, not once, but 5 times. Entire ecosystems erased. Life itself pushed to the edge of disappearance, and each time, the planet came back different, hundreds of millions of years ago. Life did not exist on land. The surface of the world was empty and silent, but beneath the oceans, it was full of life. Strange creatures thrived in warm, shallow seas. Alien-like organisms dominated the planet. But, slowly, something began to change. Temperatures dropped. Winters grew longer, harsher, deadlier. Ice began to spread across the planet, and eventually, it stopped melting. A global ice age took over. Sea levels dropped. Entire ecosystems collapsed, and just when life tried to adapt, everything changed again. The planet began to warm, the oceans lost oxygen, and in the end, around 85% of all marine life disappeared. Time passed, and life slowly returned. Our planet has a history written in stone and silence. 5 times, life on Earth was nearly erased. 5 times, the planet reset itself. Long ago, the land was bare. It was a world of rock and dust, scoured by wind. There were no forests to soften the landscape. No animals walked upon the surface, but below the shimmering waves, life thrived. Strange, soft-bodied forms drifted. Trilobites scuttled across the seafloor. Predators and prey, hunters and the hunted, moved in a blue-lit world below. The first great flourishing of complex life. Then a chill began to creep across the globe. The climate started to cool. Temperatures fell. Slowly at first. Then with gathering speed. Winters grew longer. Harsher. Ice marched outward from the poles. Glaciers, miles thick, ground across continents. The sea became a trap, thin and cold. Ice locked away water. Sea levels dropped. The first great dying began. Warm, shallow reefs were exposed. They dried into skeletal plains. Cold, nutrient-poor waters moved in. Many creatures could not adapt. They could not move fast enough. Shelters vanished. Food grew scarce. Then, the Ice Age ended. Meltwater flooded the seas, and the water lost its air. Oxygen plummeted. The deep ocean became an anoxic graveyard. About 85% of marine species were gone. The first great reset was complete. Life would come back. Slowly. Painfully. New forms evolved to fill the empty spaces, and this time, life made a great leap. It came ashore. Roots, for the first time, dug into bare rock, creating soil. Trees, unlike anything before, stood tall. A green mantle spread across the continents. This should have been a triumph, but it carried a cost. Rain washed rich soil and organic matter into the oceans. The oceans filled with a sudden abundance of food. Microscopic life, algae, bacteria, began to bloom. They ate and grew at explosive rates. Thick, soupy clouds blocked the sunlight. Light could not reach corals and plants below. The depths grew dark. As blooms died and sank, their decay consumed oxygen. Large regions turned into anoxic dead zones, quiet, still, devoid of complex life. Animals swam into waters with no air, and simply stopped. Predators and prey alike perished. It was not a violent end, but a quiet, inexorable one. Around 75% of species vanished, yet in poisoned waters, small survivors lived on. They would inherit the planet. The ground split open in ancient Siberia. Volcanoes erupted and kept erupting. Lava, ash, and toxic gas filled the air. Greenhouse gases spiked. The planet overheated. Rain turned acid. Skies went dark. The oceans warmed, turned acidic, then lost their oxygen. Life suffocated. Up to 96% of marine species vanished, and 70% on land. Over long ages it cooled. Chemistry steadied. Pangea began to tear. A smaller dying cleared the board. From survivors, dinosaurs rose. Until one day, everything changed. A small light appeared. Brighter, faster, unstoppable. Then it hit. The moment of impact changed everything. More than 1 billion times the force of the atomic bombs of World War II. A plume of vaporized rock and ash circled the globe. Superheated material rained down. Fire raced across continents. For years, sunlight disappeared. Plants died. Food chains collapsed. 3/4 of all life vanished. marine reptiles were gone, pterosaurs disappeared, the giants were gone. But small survivors endured, in burrows, in the deep, small, nocturnal, adaptable. They crawled out into a new day. The cause was not always the same. 5 great dyings: ice, overgrowth, poison, fire, and a rock from the dark. Complex systems failed, climate convulsed, oceans changed chemistry, each reset wiped the slate, and new shapes took the stage. Jaws ruled seas, land vertebrates spread, dinosaurs appeared, became giants. Then mammals rose. Life is tenacious and terrifyingly fragile. Species survive in a narrow band. When it shifts too quickly, they disappear. The world was reset 5 times. So far. Now, look at our world. Look at the world we have built. We have raised cities of glass and steel. We have created machines with power beyond the dreams of our ancestors. We are a force of nature in our own right. With our own hands, we are changing the climate. We are warming the planet at a rate beyond most natural shifts in the geological record. We move forests, we redirect rivers, we warm the seas, and alter their chemistry. We poison the air and the water. Changes that once took millennia, now in a sliver of time, a few degrees, a shift in ocean oxygen. Small adjustments can topple intricate structures of life. We, a single species, are now the cause of such a shift. We are the volcano. We are the asteroid. Our actions push the planet toward an uncertain state. Do we live in a steady, predictable world, or are we standing on the edge of another great change? The future is not written, but the planet has a history. Think of the silent seas of the Ordovician, emptied by a creeping ice age. Think of the suffocating green blooms of the Devonian. Think of the burning sky and the poisoned air of the Permian, a world almost scoured of life. Think of the falling rock that ended the dinosaurs, a flash of fire and darkness. Think of life, clinging to the margins, hiding in the deep, burrowing in the earth, holding on, and then beginning again. We are the heirs to all of that history. We carry the legacy of every survivor. We stand on a thin skin of time, a fragile moment of warmth and stability. Beneath us, immense forces that have torn the world apart before. Above us, in the dark, events we cannot always see coming. And all around us, the air, the water, the climate, being altered by our own activities. Signs that are unnervingly familiar to those who read the rocks. Species are disappearing far faster than the natural background rate. We are measuring the changes in the in the atmosphere and in the oceans. The evidence is accumulating. The patterns are emerging. The past is not just a story. It is a warning. As you look at the world around you, its beauty, its complexity, as you consider the immense power our species now wields, are we living in a stable world, one that will continue as we have known it? Are we the masters of our destiny, able to control the forces we have unleashed? The Earth has been reset 5 times. Each reset brought a new world and survivors. We are part of that story, fragile and powerful. We can perhaps change our fate, or we can seed the next great fall. The choice rests with us, in this sliver of geological time. So now, ask yourself, are we living in a stable world, or are we simply waiting for the 6th extinction? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel.